All right, everyone, welcome back. Um, so this walkthrough is going to be we're going to be working with MIDI in BandLab and just kind of trying out all the different things that we can do. So what I want is for you to open up BandLab and you'll see MIDI Explore Week 3. You're going to click on Start Assignment, and again, you're going to use the teacher's assignment. We're going to load that up. Okay, now, and you should get something just like this. All right, so if you look in there, under Attachments, I gave you 3 MIDI files, which you're going to download. Okay, and you're going to have them on your hard drive like that. You'll see mine there. Okay, so we're going to work with that. And so basically, this is just, I want you to experiment. We're going to try some different stuff. Okay. And when you're done, you're going to hit submit and you're going to take a screenshot, submit in Canvas. But basically, we're going to just, I'm going to walk through using the different MIDI files, some of the stuff you can do. We're going to try playing the MIDI files at different tempos. We're going to try using different sounds. Maybe we'll augment them with a drum loop or something different. We're just going to experiment. Okay, that's the goal here. So you'll notice that there's always a MIDI region that gets dropped in. If you double click on it, this is just I have to put something in there so it'll save it, right? You have to have some info in there. But let's just, to start off with, let's look at this first thing, okay? So that's the MIDI editor. Here's my instrument. I have selected a grand piano. If I press play, plays one note. Rewind. Okay? So if we click on it, or if we open up the MIDI editor, we can move this around. You'll see that this is my note. My note is half of a beat long. This is beat 1. This is beat 2 of the first bar. I can take this note and I can extend it out. Now if I play it, all right, it plays longer. So let's go back. And this is the note A, and I will note that we are in the key of A minor, and we're at 120 beats per minute. Okay, so if I make this from here to here, this is 1 bar. Oops, let me go back. Now I'm going to turn on my metronome and say I change this to 90. All right, let me change it back to 120. Right, you can hear that beat. And so, say I didn't want this. Say I wanted a lot of notes. Okay. Now we could do this a couple different ways. You could highlight this note. I'm going to hit copy, and then I'm going to hit paste. Go over here, paste. You see what I'm doing. I'm copying and pasting. But you can also take this pencil and we could you could click. Okay. Now here's an A, and so maybe I'll go up here to a C. Now you'll notice that this is the piano keyboard on the left. Okay. And you could click. I'm just clicking around. I'm doing 2 things. You could do 2 notes at once. Lots of different stuff. So let's listen to this now. Right? Not very musical. I will give you that. Not very musical. But, and I'm going to delete these. But if we're at 120, say I take it up to 160. Listen to that. me take it down to 60. So the point of all this is that we have complete flexibility in that we can speed it up, slow it down, get it to be exactly what you want. I could even highlight all these notes with my mouse, and then I'm gonna go to any of them, hold down the mouse and hold down the mouse click button and drag. So now, oh, rewind. Maybe I want to make Jaws, right? Is that Jaws? I don't like that, so I'm just going to hit the undo button, and it'll put it back to what it is. Okay? So again, that's just messing around. We're changing tempo. We're doing all kinds of stuff. Let me put it back to 120. Perhaps I didn't want this to be a piano. Perhaps I wanted this to be some strings. Maybe I want it to be cellos. Okay? So now I've changed the instrument completely, and now instead of piano, we're hearing cellos. Oh, you know why? Because it's a little bit too low. All right. Maybe that's too fast. Maybe I want it at 90. So there's a lot of different things you can do there. Okay. So that's just a demonstration. So let's go back. So you have 3 MIDI files that we downloaded. Okay. I'm going to take the first one and I'm just going to drag it into this window here. And I'm going to, my first track, I'm going to go ahead and delete. Okay. So this defaulted to acoustic grand piano. Let's listen to this. This is at, I think originally we were at 120 BPM. So let's listen to this. Okay, it's a nice little pop piano line we can do with that. So the first thing, you know, again, we have the ability to change our tempo. So if you have an idea of a song, maybe you don't want it that fast. Maybe you want it a little bit slower. We can change it to 90. And now, you know, the benefits, you'll hear me say it time and time again. The benefits of MIDI is that we can customize this and change it to exactly the way we want it. You know, listening to this piano part at this tempo gives, you know, hopefully it gives you a different, puts you in a different mood than if you were to hear it at, right? Maybe this is a little bit more upbeat. Now, the one thing I will say is we were in the key of A minor, and in the key of A minor, you don't need to know this, but some of you may know, you know, the A minor chord is A, C, E. An A major chord would be A, C sharp, and E. So if we change this C to C sharp, and these to C sharp, it should have a drastically different. Now we're shiny, happy people here. Okay, so here I've changed the mood of my song. I've not had to go in and replay it. Now, again, I'm a drummer. I'm not good at piano, but you know, being able to mess with MIDI files gives me the opportunity to really change the way I can do things. Okay, I have a second MIDI file number 2. Let's listen to this one. Same thing, if we slowed it down to 80, perhaps. And I have MIDI file number 3, which I'll drag in. Let's put this over here. Now let's take the tempo up. Let's try it at 120. So there's lots of different. This music takes on a whole different flavor, depending on what tempo you set. Okay, so and again, I'm suspecting that a majority of you can't play these parts on the piano, but what we're able to do is take these MIDI files, drop them in, start working on them. Okay, so perhaps if you want to work on this, perhaps you can pick one file that you want to work on, or you could use both. You could try them together. Actually, let's see. What if we hear these two piano parts together? That actually might work. Let me try that. But for now, I'm gonna mute the second one. So we've experimented now with tempos going back and forth, right? So the second thing we can do, let's experiment with sounds. Okay, so let's solo this. So I'm soloing this one, and let's create a loop. Let's try. See if this works. Let's try. Let's try Glockenspiel. Now you'll notice that the Glockenspiel are bells, percussion instrument. You'll notice that now some of these lower notes are grayed out on mine. I'm going to highlight all this MIDI. I'm going to hit +12, and that moves it up even higher. Okay, so there I have two different. I'm going to make this one a different color just so that it looks different. So there I have two different MIDI parts that I just dragged in. I pushed them together. I assigned 120 beats per minute. Okay, so I have a piano part, and actually, let's see. I'm using a grand piano. Let me try it with the Rhodes. Also, let me just show you one thing here. You can preview them. Actually, let me try Studio Grand. Let's try that. Okay, and yeah, that's cool. So let's add one more track in here. I'm gonna add another instrument. So we have a piano part, we have this acoustic, we have some Glock, the other piano part, some belt. I'm gonna put a bass. My trusty 1962 P bass loads up. So I have this MIDI region right here. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to select, let's label this bass. Let's paste it down there. Okay. So I now have all of this, which is not going to sound. Well, I'll show you. This is a trick I do all the time. You'll notice that it's the opposite of the Glockenspiel. The higher notes now are not being used. So I'm going to zoom out, and I'm just going to keep these low notes because I think I can't find the card I made, but oh yeah. If we think way back when we talked about music, we have rhythm, harmony, and melody at the top, right? Along with rhythm, I would say I'll make an adjustment to say you have rhythm and bass at the bottom. Okay, and so I'm just going to keep these low notes, and I'm going to take all these. Whoops. I'm going to take all these high notes, and I'm going to delete them. Okay, so I'm left now with just the bottom. I'm actually going to bring those down. And so and you'll notice that I want this to be longer. Then I want this one to be longer. Okay, and so there I have piano. I'm going to call this my melody and bass. So I'm gonna let's do one thing here. So if you have a region and you select on it, on the upper right hand corner, you'll notice there's that arrow loop. And what that does is that creates a loop, right? And cancel. I'm gonna select this. And so here is a little bit of basic songwriting free advice. A great way to build a track is to have your entrances staggered. Okay. And so what I've done is I have piano up here, and then at bar 9 the bass comes in, and then bar 17 everything kind of comes in together. So let's just now the next part comes in. So you'll get the idea. So if you're building a track, you could have everything start right at the beginning, or you can layer stuff out. And then you get a nice kind of effect where you're building momentum, but really we're not doing anything. We're alternating between two different chords from the provided MIDI tracks. So the last thing I'm going to do for this, let's add in a drum part. Okay. I'm going to open up my drums, loops. Let's see. Let's get drum parts. Let's try some hip hop trap. I'm going to try that one. So I'm just going to take a loop. I'm going to drag it in. And I'm going to offset this one by 4 bars. Change my color so you can see it. And just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to use 1 loop and have it go through. And so now, if we play it from the beginning, okay, so that's something. And put together in about, let's see, how long am I into this? Put this together, we're about 20 minutes into this video. And it's an example. Now, again, perhaps we're all kind of here in the key of A minor. Perhaps you're dealing with somebody who says, man, I really like that tune, but I need it in a different key. I need it in G minor, right? You could take all the notes, drop them down, and then the intro part, a different key, right? The main takeaway, but then they decide, oh, you know what? That's not what I want. I want it back in the original key. Then you can just hit Control Z, undo, move it back to the original key. The point I'd like to stress is that with MIDI, until we're actually ready to submit our assignment or bounce out our tracks, everything can be customized. Everything can be tweaked to be changed the way that you want it to be. Say you don't like this bass sound. Say you like a synth, you want a synth bass. You go in and let's do something different. Okay. You have endless possibilities on what you can do. So for the assignment, do you have to do exactly what I'm doing? No. You can experiment around, change different stuff. The main thing is get comfortable double clicking, using the editor, changing notes around, moving stuff back and forth. Try it. Try different tempos. See what impression do you get with, MIDI sample number 3 at 60 BPMs versus 160 BPMs. What feeling does that give you? So experiment with it. Try out different tunes. I look forward to hearing it. Again, take a screenshot, which is on a Mac, Command-Shift-4 or Command-Shift-3. On the PC, use the snip tool. You're going to turn in the screenshot on Canvas, and on BandLab, you're going to go ahead and hit the submit button like this. Hit submit. And that's it for this assignment. Okay, so again, any questions, hit me up on Canvas, and I look forward to hearing what you come up with. Again, yeah, hit me up with any questions if you haven't, and otherwise, I will talk to you soon. Thank you.